Good morning, Lee Ankrum here from the Ankrum Institute. Let's talk about an issue that's a big issue that I find often that is very rarely looked at. So, inside the thorax we have the heart, and the heart is suspended basically in the middle, and it looks like this. So it has part of it in the midline and part of it over to the left. Okay, so what is it that can affect the heart, and then what are a couple of symptoms that it produces? One is that you're wearing a seatbelt, hopefully, while you're in your car, either a passenger or a driver, and what can happen is that if you get into a car accident and the seatbelt tightens, it actually tightens and locks up the heart. So one of the deals about that is that it creates a pattern and a locking, okay, in the heart. Something else that can actually affect the heart is reflux. I know that sounds crazy, but your esophagus runs right behind the heart. It's sitting like this behind the heart. And if I have repeated or long-term reflux, it's going to, the dysfunction in my esophagus will affect my heart, okay? Eventually creating tension, okay? There's other things that can create heart issues, but I won't go into a bunch of them. But anyway, so what can happen is when I have tension in my heart, okay, is very commonly I hurt back here between my shoulder blades and lock up my vertebrae here. So if you are a chiropractor person, your chiropractor will always have to be adjusting these because your central reason, your heart, is not being dealt with. That keeps creating tension that keeps going backwards. That keeps going into the posterior structures, your vertebrae. So that's one thing that the heart can do when it's in dysfunction. The other is that on the bottom of the heart, there's a big thick ligament that attaches to your respiratory diaphragm. So if my heart locks up, and oftentimes they say your heart can't move where it is, but I'm sorry, I have found it so that the heart is actually higher, okay? And one of the deals is that ligament on the respiratory diaphragm pulls the diaphragm up with it, which really does not allow you to breathe deeply and doesn't allow your lungs to expand as well because it's being pulled up, okay? Another thing that really can pull this, that just thought about this, we have a lot of tennis players here in Tulsa. Didn't have them in Chicago when I was there, but Tulsa. And that repeated pull on the arm like this pulls the heart out. Okay. So another symptom is, here's the deal, is that my heart is in a fascial bag, it's called the pericardium. The pericardium attaches to my front of my neck. So what does it do? It begins to, when it's under tension, it begins to pull my whole head and neck forward. So this forward head posture and neck, one of the big culprits, there can be others. One of the big ones here is actually that the heart is under tension and it's pulling all the way into the neck. So those are just a few for heart stuff. So it's one thing to try to get it out of the local place of where you're feeling a symptom or see a symptom, but it's a whole nother deal. It is to actually let it go at the core or the driving issue. So hope you guys have a great day. Thanks.